nothing on the Hyundai, but today we're gonna drop the transmission pan, check out the filter and the fluid, because third and overdrive is malfunctioning. Third gear won't engage, but it has first and second and reverse. So in order to get it in the garage, I need to move the Santa Fe out the way. This car here, soon we'll be getting a computer replacement, aka computer reprogramming. Every now and then it just goes crazy. Oh, better turn off the music. Don't want to get flagged again for playing Christian music. So let's go ahead and just pull her forward. But yeah, it kept giving us battery and alternator issues, so got my little tester in here to keep an eye on it. And ever since I put this tester in it, the battery light and the brake light hasn't popped on. The temperature gauge has been working normal because it normally jumps up and down, but that's not really what this video is today. This is the culprit today. Driving down the highway and don't want to get that in the tire. Driving down the highway and bada bing, bada boom, third gear started jumping around. And then when I shifted, when the car slowed down and went in the second, it wouldn't go back in the third. Thought it might have been the fuel pump. Fuel pump's been replaced. I would have had a video on that, but I'm not the one that replaced the fuel pump. It was somebody else. But listen to the bad boy. She sounds beautiful, or he does anyways, but waiting for the idle to get down. Check engine lights for the Cadillac converter, aka the O2 sensor by the cat. Okay, now we're in gear. Okay. Now we're in reverse. This is why I needed to move the Hyundai. Okay, checking that mirror over there. Go over this way a little bit. Straighten her out. As far as I can. But I'm gonna get her up on ramps. Okay. Now you can hear the exhaust. Alright, let her rev back down before I shut her off. Okay. If you're wondering why it sounds so nice, muffler delete, both of them. I'll show you just in case you're curious. Well, say hello, Harley. There's the mufflers and my other scrap. You want to say hi, Harley? This is Harley, my little pet. You been digging? Say hi to all the ladies and the gentlemen and all them peoples out there in the YouTube world. Yeah, she has her own little house. All right. Now, I'll get my tripod, if I can remember where the hell I laid it. Oh, yeah, I sure did get close. There she is. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna pause it right here, get the tripod set up, and then that way I can get him up on next video. You'll be seeing me get up on ramps. Okay, I think that should do it. Car's a little crooked, so I'm gonna need to straighten it out. Alright, there we go. She's up on the ramps. Set the emergency brake. Get some wheel chucked behind her. Get this light on back here. That helps a little bit. Go ahead and roll down the other window. Okay. Pop the hood. Oh, that's right. Forgot. I detached the hood, so let me set y'all down while I take the hood off. Alright, there we go. Eventually I'm going to get some pins for back here. But there she is. Go ahead and shut her off. Shut them off. Okay. Alright. Now, sorry about all the shaking. Whew, man, after my second heart attack, I sure do get winded pretty quick. All right, let's get under the car. And Got a pretty good oil leak. I think that's oil. Yep. Sniff test. A little bit of light. Yeah, that's oil. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here so I can get the light on. That way we can see better. Okay. Yeah, that's oil leaking. As you can see, it leaks around the oil pan pretty good. But that is not what we've came to look at. Let's check this oil. Oh, that's transmission fluid. So that lets me know that we may be having a transmission gasket leak. Let's get a little light up here. Okay. Not for sure what that is, but once I find it out, oh, let's see what. Let me get up there so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That right there. Got to figure out what part that is, because I can almost guarantee whatever that is might be causing the shifter issue. Yay, boy almighty, I smell gas. I hope those little shit, excuse my language. I would cuss, but I'm not going to do that on YouTube. I already get flagged enough. But under more inspection, looks like we might have a gasket leak. And this is the Ford E7. I'm not for sure what this is. When I get this pan off, I can definitely get this. Sorry to interrupt here over what I'm doing right there, but that actually says metric. And that spot right there, that's not where the bolt should have went, drain bolt, but that's actually where the magnet sits. And then I go on to explain about removing the 14 bolts on the transmission. Loosened all the ones around the sides, and then slowly but surely I loosen the ones around the front a little bit more, as I have a pan back here that slowly, as I drain it, drains the fluid out. If I had more battery life, I would just record the whole process, but I only have like 30-some%, and Jesus, I smell fuel. Whew, why do I smell gas so bad? That is not good. Ah, there's a starter, if I ever had to replace it. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm just giving a look underneath the car. There's a cat. Yeah, there's the cat. And there's the faulty O2 sensor right there. Let's see, do we have one over here? Yes, we do. So we have two O2 sensors. I believe that is a resonator, and then runs out to a single pipe. Then that single pipe splits into dual exhaust, I believe. Yeah. So once I get this pan off, because there's my shift linkage, that looks correct. Ah, that's my shifter. That's my shifting box. That's this box that does the shifting. Can't remember the actual name of it, but that portrays in the shifting. I bet you there could be an issue with that. If something inside that is malfunctioned, it wouldn't send any signal to the transmission to shift. And by looking at it, that could be where the leak is, because that is covered in transmission fluid more than anything else. But I'll know more once I get this pan off. So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to work on getting the pan off. Once I get the pan off, we'll, both of us at the same time, will well, I'll get a first look, but when I get back to the recording, we can look at it more extensively all together. All right. See y'all in a few. I actually jacked up the rear end, got it on jack stands. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Once you get it up on jack stands, you want to test to make sure the car doesn't go anywhere. So what I normally do is I'll grab it, give it a shake. Okay, she's good. So I don't have a chance of it falling on me. But the emergency brakes are still on there. All right, so now I'm gonna work on getting the pan. I did that so I can have a little bit more room, and actually so I can get in from the side so I don't have to crawl from the bottom, which will be so much easier than worming my way in from the front. All right, so I'm gonna get to that and I'll get you guys here in a moment. What I did is I got an extension cord, charger, and just plugged it in. That way you guys can see what I'm doing here. I already got the filter. It's a Duralast AutoZone. No, AutoZone don't care that I advertise. They actually love it. But this is the part number, TF403. This is specifically for the 14 bolt pan. And this is the transmission with a 14 bolt. Before you do any work on your 96, 97 Thunderbird transmission, either you have the V6 or the V8, count your bolts on the pan. If you do not have the 14 bolt, then you will be using the other filter. But just to give you an idea what you get inside, get a flat gasket, installation instructions, and a sealed transmission filter with a new gasket on it. So that is what you get. Mercron transmission fluid, not Mercron 5, but Mercron, plain old Mercron. Transmission fluid is what you use in this transmission. Do not use anything else, but always check your owner's manual or model year or transmission that you have in the vehicle for the transmission fluid type, because you do not, I'm telling you now, want to put the wrong transmission fluid in your transmission, because it can cause some pretty bad damage, because the flow rate per the type of transmission is different for the specifications of your transmission. But tools needed, just to make it simple and quick, you can go to Harbor Freight and get this set right here. It's millimeter, goes from 10 all the way up to 19, with a few not in there, but that's typical. An extension, a couple extensions, short, long, and a socket. If you're like me and just want to make it simple and quick and have short-term memory problems, which I do, I got the cheater that tells me which one's left and right. It also helps less thinking. But let's go ahead and, and you'll need a pan. Make sure you wipe it out, because I also use this for oil. So let's go ahead and crawl underneath the car. Get your pan, and by looking at the bolt, I could almost say, well, I won't say, but I believe exactly 10 millimeter. That is your socket size, and this short extension seems to work just fine. Make sure it's lefty-loosey, and okay, that's tightened. There we go, that's lefty-loosey. Rule of thumb, if you have a bolt that doesn't seem to want to come out, tighten it a little bit and then loosen it. But first, go through and crack your bolts. You don't need to pan for that. I will let you know this video is going to be lengthy, but I feel it needs to be due to the nature of this job. Not working as planned. Okay, this will happen. This will happen. You'll go to do this, and sometimes what you're trying just doesn't work. So since it's this corner, I'm probably blocking the whole view. So let me get over here. Okay, here we go. All right, this corner seems to want to lose all the fluid, so go ahead and you will get dirty. Go ahead and remove that bolt, and I'm going to remove this bolt and this bolt here. Since it doesn't want to work with me like I want it to, we're going to have to just work with it how it wants to. And I'll remove this one. All right, let me get me a flathead screwdriver. Wipe my hand off. You might need a rag. And then I have a flathead screwdriver just for stuff like this. So I'm just gonna pull this. What I'm doing here is I'm holding the flathead screwdriver to try to keep the fluid draining in one area. That way I can direct it right into the pan. This may happen to you, it may not. Alright, now it's time to this is quite common. And then I go around loosening the bolts individually, removing some of them as I will go on here to explain. Oh, I think I forgot this one. Come here. Let's find her again. Okay. No, I didn't. It just didn't want to. Ah. Duh. Mechanics headache. Dropping tools. Okay, good. Now we'll get this one here. Oh, darn it. Nobody. This would be so much easier on a lift, but I don't own a lift. By God, I wish I did. Okay. Fill with my fingers. Okay. Got all the same. Now let's loosen these up a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. How it's doing it here in the front, and see how that just kind of dropped on its own. That's kind of what you want to do. You want to control it. Okay, and I should have one. Yes, I do, right here. Oh. Okay. Now, go ahead and take the one side out. Okay, here's that one. And then I'm gonna go for this one over here. Get ready at any time. It could start pouring out, but I think what's left is actually in the pan. This pan actually came off easier than the Ford Taurus I did. I literally had to pry the one on the Ford Taurus. So that probably means this transmission pan has been leaking. So now, yeah, there we go. It's all in the pan. And I'll tell you right now, it's heavy. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna have to use my right hand. Hold the pan up with your hand. If you have a jack, you can use a jack, but make sure you put a piece of wood underneath it. Get the last few bolts out. One more. Ah, crap. Tighten it up, you dummy. Lord almighty. Whew. Okay, now slowly bring it down. go ahead and move your pan out the way and your tools and let your filter drip. Now that is how you remove it. Oh, there's the dipstick. Okay. Yeah, so let me go ahead and come out to the other side. Okay, you guys can see there. Make sure you get all your bolts and count them. Make sure you got all of them, you didn't lose any. But we're gonna let that drip for a moment. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, I'm going to show you an example here on the bolts. See how this one is darker than the other one? That's because there's been fluid for a while leaking around that bolt. So that means we got a gasket failure. And the gasket is not on the pan. And I'll definitely know if this has been redone before, because if I remember correctly on the Fords, the 90s, because my Taurus was a 99, it normally has a bead of transmission gasket maker, which I got to get back under there to see if there's actually a gasket on there. Move this box out of the way. Foot. Okay. Time to check. Yep, there's a gasket. Oh God. That gasket is old. Let's take a look at it. Let's bring it over here so we can look at it. Oh. I'm gonna wipe it off. See if there's any stamp on it, because if it's original to 96, there should be a stamp on it. Plus, we can look at it for any fail points. Okay, bring you guys up here, look at the gasket. Don't see any, there's a rip right there. See, now let's look on the other side. This must already had a change before, but yeah, I don't see any stamp on it, so I can almost guarantee this has had a service before. So let's go ahead and now remove the filter. Okay. Let's wipe it off. Okay. Oh, crap. Totally forgot about that. Oh, my bad. Oh, man. Ugh. It's like sludge under here. Just like my Taurus. Just like my Taurus. Nice and sludgy. Alright, just gonna set that in the pan. Wipe me hands off. Oh, my Lord. Alright. Ain't got no paper towel, so I'm gonna have to use me rag. Oh, man. Definitely want to clean this. What is that gunk? Huh. You definitely want to clean around where the gasket goes real good. Yep, I'm going to have to pry that out. The gasket didn't come out, so we're going to have to pry that out. But I'm going to do a little cleaning here first. Check my wires and everything, make sure there's no broken wires, because that could also cause some shifting problems. Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, come here, fellas. Let's get some light so we can get some good looks down here. Okay. Alright. So, I don't see any damage down here. Move that out of my way. That looks good up in there. I got a little transmission fluid on my forehead. We look fine here. Everything looks good there. See any issues with anything. But I'm gonna let this drip for a while. Then I'll come back and do some cleaning, but I'm gonna pause here so I can get this pan out from underneath the car so we can inspect it while the rest of this drips. So I'm gonna pause here and I'll be back as soon as I get all this out. Okay. 1 second. This lens looks... There we go. That's better. All right. My sweetheart called me, so I had to take a break. But here we go. And my mistake, that spot I was showing you, underneath the pan where the dipper is, that's where the magnet goes. But there's the inside of the pan. There's the magnet. I mean, it has metal shavings on it. But also, I think this goop that I'm filling is the Lucas I put in. Which, at the end of the day, I'm not going to put it in again. Here's the old filter. I went ahead and wiped it down. And then here's the new filter. Big difference. Not in shape, or the back of it's not different, but here's different. It has a pickup tube. So it actually pulls the fluid through there instead of there. So it should be able to move the fluid a little bit better with this pickup tube. I'm not going to check the fluid in here because that pan's pretty nasty. But I'm going to clean this up, get this magnet cleaned up, and then I'm going to let that drip because it's still dripping. That way I can make sure I get all the old fluid that was in the pan area out. So I'll probably leave it dripping overnight. And then that will be the end of this video. And then the next video will be installation. Cleanup and installation will be the next video. So I want to thank you all for watching. Please look forward to the second part of this video. And as I always say, if it's broke, fix it. Thank you for watching.